Here's your outlaw, your chance at glory to give the Outlaws a pre-high noon vote.
What's up, man?
Going for High Noon Podcast. Got Paul from High Noon Podcast. Not too much. I'm a big fan of you guys. Wanted to come say hello. I was wondering how you guys kind of use what you learned in the season, how you turn it around to build on next season. Obviously, a lot of highs and lows from this year.
So a lot of things is like, yeah, practice was like the biggest entirety of our season. We would practice too many hours, or do too many hours, or review not enough hours. Basically finding balance of what we're trying to do, focus on the next season with like a new practice facility, new way to travel, pretty much all the above, and like having more detailed and more like schedule. So they always have a late night, like task people who wanted to do other stuff at night after they work, but we'd always get a lot of tasks. So that was Ninja or is it just also probably need to trace the players. Finding little things like that. Yeah, some attitude issues that I like problems with it early on, but we have 6 months to fix that. So that's what our plan is right now, and we feel like it's a nice plan.
Like that's the guys from our channel.
Gotcha. I mean, it was close given all the problems you had, right? Like you guys were in it the last week, which is saying something.
Yeah, so I think what's cool about our team is I don't think we really, like, talking about attitude issues, we don't really have any attitude issues. Like, no one really dislikes each other. It's like, teammates are fights. That's like a huge bonus, because there are some teams that argue tons.
Do everything that is pop culture. Like
for us, main problems were like our own struggles. Like, we were more to our standards. Some player would be like, playing worse that week because he was, it's like a mental thing. We're going to focus on how to focus on that, how to pick people up during like bad, because everyone's going to have their own ways.
Seattle.
Focusing on little things, but I feel like all the talent's there. It's just like more strategic and more like.
Now, how do you handle your individual adversity that you face? Like, it's hard not to bring up the World Cup conversation, which I think is kind of ridiculous. That it's people don't see it as close between you two. But how do you rebound with that and some of the stuff you've taken on Reddit throughout the course of the season?
A secret commercial.
It really doesn't. It's like I'm here for a reason. My teammates know. The coaches know. I'm not going to go anywhere.
Oh, really?
I mean, the Reddit detectives can think whatever they want. It doesn't. It won't affect me. It won't affect how I perform. I don't feel like I need to defend myself or prove myself either. There's reasons for everything.
The stats on the website aren't super inclusive, but you do seem to get the better of them in that particular battle. So I thought it was very strange that everybody was so gung-ho that it was one way or the other.
I feel like there's a lot of bias opinions.
The official, like that's the charity thing.
It is what it is. So.
Last question. You guys seem to favor having a pretty big roster compared to some of the other teams in the league, closer to 12 man. Do you anticipate staying at 12, and do you expect more than just a Tracer change to happen?
I'm pretty sure that every team wants to get more players because, when...
That's a good question.
Because, like, if you have someone who's sick and whatnot, obviously you need more players on. For us, we didn't really have any problems, like, integrating new players, because we make sure all our players watch the scrims, like, they're there and watching, we have to put them in, they just know exactly what we want to do. So there's no problem with that. I think the biggest benefit you can get off a 12-player roster is, like, having a backup for every single role. If someone's feeling sick one day, you get them in. I feel like some rosters don't have 12 players because some teams don't want to pay a lot. I mean, it's acceptable. You're paying a lot of money, but like some teams,
you can even make money off 12. Right? You look at what London did at the beginning of the season when they moved their core, not their core, but Fisher and Glasgow.
It's true. It's just it all depends on how business standpoint, like how your organization is. I think we benefit a lot from it because we don't have a restriction like that. So we're always trying to look for the best available talent, and we're just trying to win.
If you had to pick one MVP other than yourself from the team this year, who would you pick?
From my team?
Yes.
Kumat.
Kind of the unsung hero.
He's like by far the best teammate we've ever had. He never breaks down. He's always focused. He's in the game. He gives it his all, and he's really passionate. Like, you can tell a lot about someone when they put so much work into something, and you get defeated, and it's like affecting them like physically. And it affects how much involved they were, how dedicated they were. He's like by far probably my favorite player.
You didn't even tilt when Mickey stole his hairstyle?
He actually did Mickey's hair.
Yeah, I actually saw some of the video. I thought that was super fun.
Yeah, he did Mickey's hair.
Those guys were adorable. Mickey's always
Mickey's always good.
It makes you smile every day.
My girlfriend knows almost nothing about Overwatch or Overwatch League. She watched one match. It was like, oh my god, I love Mickey. I want to meet him.
Mickey's fun. Mickey's fun.
So I'm loving friends from High Noon Podcast, the other half, the cameraman in this one. So one question I'm wondering for Overwatch League players, and really for esports pros in general, is either as a kid or even a few months ago, like a couple years ago, you're thinking like, man, it's the dream to be an esports pro, and you have all these thoughts about what it is and what it could be. How has your what you thought being an esports pro and an Overwatch League player, what it actually is versus what you thought it was?
To be honest, it's better than I expected. So I grew up playing video games, right? When I started, I guess, watching professional esports, I started watching like Counter-Strike and League of Legends, and they were like the two of more developed games at the time. And I realized how like interesting and cool it would be to be a pro. So I always knew I was very good. I was always in like the top 0.1%. I just never could push through to be a pro in the games I played. I just wasn't good enough in Counter-Strike. I was good enough in League, but the problem with League was like it just wasn't enjoyable for me.
Yeah.
But
I know that.
Overwatch, when it first came out, I grinded so much, and I was number one in like every step, category for a website called Master Overwatch at the time. And I realized I had a calling. That's how it happened. But like for the difference between what I expected it to be is like, oh, professional player, you want people to like you and be a fan of you. It's kind of cool, you get paid for it. But it's like it's better than all of that, because like you have people that actually care about you and like are truly rooting for you. It feels like an actual like traditional sport, because I grew up a lot watching traditional sports. I love football, and I understand what it's like to represent as being a fan, like watching football player, like wide receivers. Some of my favorite, the Jets. I used to go to games every year, so when I see that, it like really makes me appreciate it.
Did you say Jets?
I'm a Jets fan.
You had him. Buffalo.
Oh, you're a
Bills,
Buffalo.
So, we're from Buffalo.
It's better than being a Patriots fan.
Yes, there it is.
We can agree on that for sure.
No one sucks more in the division than the Patriots.
That's true.
It's true. You didn't say Dolphins either. As far as in the division goes, it was as good as it could.
Christopher's like LMAO Jets fan. So speaking of like traditional sports, there's been obviously Overwatch League is trying to be like more like a traditional sport, more than any other esport, at least so far. What do you think about the way that Overwatch League and maybe the players or teams have handled like the media stuff, for instance, and the hours and whatnot, and the amount of effort it takes to be a professional?
I feel like teams did a pretty good job so far. Obviously, there's a lot of like troubles finding like correct staff for every team, because it's very new for everyone still. So there will be some minor mistakes and problems, people inexperienced. Overall, though, there hasn't been any huge controversies. Like, hasn't been players acting completely out of line. I feel like they've done a pretty good job so far. I have to give thanks to our, social media and media marketing team, because they've been great. So
awesome. You got anything else, Steph?
Should be it. Thanks for your time, bud.
Thank you so much for your time.
Good luck next
Bye, guys.
Rawkus, look.
Deathflow got to fangirl out a little bit. we gotta get Note, right? HNP.
Custa 2 probably. Custa 2 probably.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, Note is a alumnus.
Yes. You want to talk to Sinnatra since he's standing here? Sinatra, can we bring you out of hiding?
You want to talk to you a little bit about myself?
Deathflow from High Noon Podcast. Nice to meet you.
Rawkus.
Was wondering what it was like coming in the middle of the season and having to kind of adapt and fit to a play style that was already existing and forming with the team.
I don't know what else really.
It was hard then. Like, we were doing pretty bad, honestly. Even when I came in, we did bad because I was pretty nervous. But it took a while to actually get my synergy down with Super and know me at first. But when Super came in, it took like about 5 to 10 games of like hard coaching for us to actually get our synergy down. But I don't know.
I feel pretty much the same. I just play video games professionally.
Damn. That's a hard question. I don't know.
Sounds like it was just a bit of a grind, really.
Yeah.
Just had to put in some hours.
We just basically needed a coach, which Krusty came in to like hard tell us what to do exactly, like how the game is played. Like he really taught us me and Super how the game is played. By the way, do I look at the camera?
You do whatever you want.
All right,
it is what it is.
And
it's a completely different game for me. So I personally could play scrims.
Just needed some hard coaching.
yeah, we needed some hard coaching, like to tell me and Super to actually get organized and do stuff at the same exact time and have good synergy, and then we were doing fine. Like we were doing really good like stage 3, stage 4.
So it's safe to say then that Krusty more micromanaged you guys than Brad did previously?
No, they just have different. They have different types of coaching. Sephi was smart. He was really smart. He would tell us what to do, but I don't think anyone would listen. I don't know why, but no one seemed to listen. But Krusty, I guess he was like more serious about it. Like he'll actually just bench you if you don't listen. He'll yell at you, stuff like that. So you have to listen to him.
They're more of a hardliner.
Yeah.
Also a 10-0 stage right before he joined you guys to really kind of give him some credence and credibility.
I knew the night before.
What do you guys think going forward? I know you guys were really hoping to make it into a stage playoffs at the end of the season and put yourselves on the map, but honestly, I think you guys kind of did that anyways. As an Outlaws fan, you personally upset me a couple times there, but what do you expect next season from the team going forward, especially with, I think Architect is another one that was a really big addition to the team, and maybe some more time. What do you guys think you'll be able to do next year?
I think from the start of this season, I think everybody knew that we were like building for later. Like obviously,
a season 2 team.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it showed at like stage 3, stage 4, like late in the season that like we actually have good players now. We have like good synergy. Like we can actually beat really good teams that we're come close to beating them. So I think if we just practice harder in the off season now, we'll actually come because we have like crazy players like Choi, Architect, like all these people. So
Choi I think was one of the most underrated offenses.
Choi is really good.
He was like glue for you guys. Just kept the feeling he did was great.
Yeah, he's nasty. So I'm almost positive we'll do really well. Like playoffs at least season 2.
Playoffs has been called.
Anything yet?
Yeah. So in the preseason, even before you were even eligible to play, obviously you were one of the more talked about players for a number of reasons that I'm sure people know already. So I know you're going on. But what was it like coming into that kind of pressure and the spotlights on you before, like months before you're even able to play? Like, how was that for you?
Yeah, I've been asked this question a lot, and it actually just sucks. Like all the expectation, like the unreal expectation, because I get paid 150K, so there's like this crazy expectation that I'm just gonna come in and 1v6 everybody or something like that. It's like it's ridiculous. But so I got like, I guess I was like super nervous my first like couple matches, so I choked really hard. Like the nerves just got to me. Like everyone expected me, oh, he's gonna like just carry this team by himself. Like it's just undoable. Like I can't. Like no one can. So it just made me feel like do way worse.
I have like 6 years of playing.
I can only imagine all the lights up before you're even able to play, and then after, so.
It was way too much pressure.
But you definitely have seemed to come back from that adversity and really push through, which is awesome. I guess another question that you've probably been asked 100 times is like, you're a young guy, like right out of high school, being an esports athlete. How has that been? Like, not for like, obviously everyone in esports is super supportive. Like we get it because we're at media day and watch the grand finals. But have people come up and asked you like, oh, what are you doing? Why are you just playing like video games as a?
Actually, people expect for them to do that, but actually like no one's done that. Like everyone always asks me like, what do you do for a job? Like when I get in Ubers, what do you do? Like where are you going? And I always explain to them like what I'm doing, what Overwatch is, like professional career, and then they're always like, that's super awesome. Like that's a dream job. They always say that. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I would not have expected that to be their perception. But anything else? All right, Sinnatra, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Moving down the line. Moving down the line.
Nice to meet you. Blevins Hiner podcast on the camera for now.
You need to tell Tavik to come on the show.
Yeah, we've attacked your whole team and roster from every avenue and angle we can. Blevins' favorite player. Tavik won't return our calls.
Was Pluppy way back in the day.
Yeah. Wait, have you like contacted like players directly or like the organization itself?
We've had interviewed a couple players.
It's mostly been a meme.
Yeah, all right. Yeah,
I mean, no, not a meme. Definitely real.
Can you talk to us about what it was like trying to maintain momentum when the season kind of slipped away from you guys and you were still trying to perform for your fans? Like, how did you guys keep your head in the game and keep preparing for your matches?
I mean, you have like no other choice, right? So we just kept grinding and kept doing our best. We had like, at the end of stage 2, at the beginning of stage 3, we got new additions to our roster, we got a new coach, and obviously at the same time Mineral left us. So we were kind of like up in the air. This was right after like we were in the up and up, we were starting to win games, but then all of this change happened and we did the best with what we could. But we just kept trying our best and like trying to stick together as a team and like trying to just grind out the season. Obviously when we knew that, oh, we can't make playoffs anymore, that sucks, you know, but still when we came into stage 4 we gave it our best to make at least a stage playoff. It wasn't enough, but we gave it our best at least, and maybe season 2 we'll do a lot better. I hope so, because now I think we've learned a lot from our mistakes, especially like player-wise and organization-wise, so I think it's going to be a lot better this season.
Can you talk to us about what it was like as a team and how the decisions were made to balance the two of Logic's and Saya players' playing time? Both were playing so well at the end of the season, it was apparent you guys wanted to use both of them, but how did you guys decide like what maps you'd use which on, and how did that process go?
I'd say at the end of, or in the beginning of stage 4, Saya was starting to have shoulder problems, and he's had shoulder problems back in Apex when he played back there. And at the same time, Logix also started to get problems with his shoulder. So we had 2 injured players, so we kind of like shifted them out. We played them on certain maps, just to like split the playtime as much as possible. Of course, there was a thought behind in the beginning to mix and match and see what setup works best. Like, do we play Saya Logix? Do we play Saya Twig Logix? We tried a lot of things in stage 3, I think. But then, as I said, that happened with the injuries and stuff, and we did what we could with the tools we had.
Okay. I actually have a good tip.
As I said before, season 2, I hope everything is.
Okay, if you're struggling, toss that way.
One thing in particular that you guys were really well known for this year, maybe not what you wanted to be really well known for, but was the really fun high energy walkouts that you guys had early on in the season. And I think we all kind of understood when they went away because you guys were starting to turn it around a little bit, you wanted to put on a serious face. But when the season slipped away, why didn't they come back? I think we all wanted to see them again.
That's a good question, right? I mean, I think some of the people wanted it back and some people didn't. So, like, if one player don't want to do it, we won't force him to do it. So, we decided to not do it, I guess. It was a fun thing in the beginning. Like, we were the meme team, I guess. Maybe
I'd say fun team. That's a little less direct.
Yeah, I mean, we still had fun up on stage, even when we didn't do the walkouts, we still joked around and we were happy. But yeah, the walkouts are on ice for now, I'd say.
Red and yellow or pink and aqua?
Pink and aqua.
Pink and aqua.
Love it, love it.
They put out like a vague tweet about maybe, it sounded like they might be considering the rebrand, but...
McDonald's.
Yeah, McDonald's is pretty strong too.
They want Miami Vice now, apparently, and I never watched that show, so I don't get it, but... last thing, was the chicken teriyaki thing blown out of proportion, or do you really like it that much?
Blown out of proportion. Like way out of proportion.
Do you get free chicken teriyaki?
Yes,
now? People just bring it to you?
So many times.
I wish I'd thought to bring some and have it in my bag. I'd give you some right now.
It's good, I like it. But you know, I'm a man of many tastes, so I like my different kind of snacks. I like beef jerky, but I like Doritos, I like other things too, you know?
Well,
it's a balancing act.
It was, as an American, it was a strange thing to think that America was known for teriyaki beef jerky from far away, so I'm glad it was something that went out of proportion, but yeah. Thanks for your time, bud. Anything?
Thank you so much.
I think we're good. Thank you.
No.
Moving down the line.
Nice to talk to you again.
Moving down the line.
Last time we talked, you were kind of an unknown player on the roster, and I think now you've really solidified yourself as one of the better Diva players in the league, at least in our opinion, the way we talk about you on the show. Has it been strange to kind of get that recognition now? You were kind of, I think, a shoe-in for the World Cup roster and things like that. Can you explain what it's been like to kind of go through that change from unknown to a household name?
It's been pretty weird. I'm definitely not used to it. I think people who are like playing a lot more scene before have higher profile than are definitely used to it. But for me, it's like all these changes, like talking to press and like it's just strange. I don't know. Something I've never done before. But
Yeah, I think I might have been one of your first interviews at the time when it happened, and I just remember you just really going with the flow. You know what I mean? You let me make a joke because I'm a kind of a well-known Boston hater on the show a little bit. So I remember you letting me kind of make a little bit of a joke there. I really appreciated that. But you guys had such polar opposite stage 3 and stage 4s in a lot of ways, and it's really easy to point at Krusty leaving as a big part of the reason why. But let's ignore that and talk about reasons outside of coaching that might have contributed to that downfall.
Learn a lot about how to balance
What's that?
playing as a team and like functioning over a long period of time.
the change between like mostly wins
all of us on it used to just like a recent environment
and stuff.
where it's easy to forget about the issues and that kind of stuff. But you're week in, week out grinding,
We had to make that change until really the last 4 games.
that's sort of the things that
If I don't play, we had like a lot of practice on it, like a lot of other teams did. Again, there's a ton of factors to it. Honestly,
I'm not going to talk too much, obviously. Like, there's been a lot of like tough conversations, a lot of drama throughout the season. But another thing that I've learned is that it's
Number one thing you guys are going to do different next year to advance farther in the playoffs.
The public wants to know, but every time
Feel free to not advance farther in the playoffs.
come out into the public, it always looks bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe
so that's why I think it needs to happen behind closed doors.
expand our roster a bit with like character picks and stuff, I guess, like flexibility, smaller players, I guess, better subs, like
As players, like behind the scenes, a lot of us know what happened and understand the situation and that kind of stuff.
How is Mama Note taking being an
what is
esports
happening
player?
because
She was
that's
super
how
supportive,
you get
and didn't she like
She tweeted us.
She tweeted at us after your interview.
Right? Because that's what happens. As soon as
I
it's
love
public,
it because they've always been
public
super
decides
supportive
what
of what I do in life.
instead of what actually happens. He said, she said, all that.
I'm glad for it. Like a lot of other people have had to go through a lot of issues with their parents. Like everyone ends up, I don't know, like shutting off internet or like just not supporting them overall. But I don't know, for me it's just been good.
Does she hang out with other Overwatch moms like Mama Steve or anything else like that?
I don't think it's happening.
No.
We'll see.
We're gonna get the Moms of Overwatch podcast at some point. Awesome, Mo. Thank you so much. All right, hold on. I'm gonna talk.